educator and academic leader. She is the dean of Josai International University. She was born and grown up in Brazil. She was keenly interested in languages and intercultural communication from a very young age, and she graduated from the Ibero-American University. She received her bachelor there in letters, translation and interpretation, if I'm right. And then she received 2 TESOL certificates in the United States, in the University of California, Riverside, and she received her master's degree there as well. In 1992, she was invited to the newly founded university, the Josai International University, where she's been working there since constantly, and she develops courses and programs to foster the spirit of internationalization. The Ludovica University of Public Service is represented by our Vice Rector for Scientific Affairs, Mr. László Kovács. Major General László Kovács oversees the university's research and innovation agenda. In addition to the university education, he is a scientific researcher. He conducts researches in the fields of cyber warfare, information terrorism, and the protection of critical information infrastructures. Under his leadership, Ludovica University has strengthened its role in fostering innovation that addresses real-world needs through strategic partnerships. Well, without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to our distinguished guests, and I'm addressing first Professor Ichiyama to present her university.
It's on. Thank you. It's on?
Yes.
Thank you very much for the invitation to be at Ludovica University. It's a pleasure for us to have you as our new sister institution in Hungary. Josai International University, compared to you, is a very, very young university. We were founded in 1992. So we are only 33 years old. We started with only 360 students. Now we have 6,000, and we're not planning to expand anymore. So we will remain as a medium-sized university in Japan. Our name is Josai International University, and I was hired there in 1992 when they were starting from scratch. And I wondered why they were hiring a Brazilian who didn't speak Japanese and who looks Japanese. So it was a big problem for me because, you know, if you look Japanese in Japan, they expect you to speak Japanese. But then I was forced to learn quickly. So that was an advantage in a way. And then in the past 33 years, we've been investing a lot on international education. And in 2007, we decided that we would want more Hungarian students to contribute to our global education in Japan. So we came to Hungary in 2007, signed agreements with a few universities. In 2010, we started receiving Hungarian students on our campus. To date, we have received 200 Hungarian students who were with us for 1 year or who were there for graduate studies. And we have sent 187 students to Hungary. So if you are Hungarian and think that, oh, only Hungarians in Hungary study Hungarian or speak Hungarian. That's not true. You know, in our little university in Japan, many of them are having Hungarian courses every Monday, and we have 3 full-time faculty members also working there. So for us, one kind of innovation, something that did not exist in Japan. Let's bring Hungarian students to Japan. That was one strategy that we are very proud of. Many universities cannot afford that or will not do that, but we have more and more friends in Hungary every year. So just to give you, of course, our main field of education is not Hungarian, it's in humanities. And in the medical field, we have pharmaceutical sciences, nursing, physical therapy, courses like that. But students in those departments also take Hungarian if they want to. And every year, a large group of nursing students come to, oh my God, I can't pronounce the name of the medical university in Budapest. Why?
Semmelweis.
Semmelweis University.
Yeah, say it again.
Semmelweis.
Yes, so sorry. So our nursing students come there every summer also to learn more or experience the Hungarian way of doing nursing. So we're trying to do it not only in the field of humanities, but so it's a pleasure to be here at Ludovica, and hopefully some of you will eventually consider studying about Japan or studying in Japan, and hopefully I will be one of your teachers in the future. Maybe you don't want that, but we would like that very much. Thank you for having me today. ありがとうございます。
So now we are going to watch a little film.
Második éve tanítok a Josai Nemzetközi Egyetemen, de ennél jóval régebben élek Japánban, japanológusként. Itt az egyetemen japán nyelven tanítok, elsősorban japán, kínai és koreai hallgatóim vannak. A kurzusaim egy része japanológiával foglalkozik, például a globális japán tanulmányok és a Japán és Európa kapcsolatai kurzusok. Utóbbi esetében a kulturális kapcsolatokra koncentrálok, mert korábban a Tokiói Liszt Intézet Magyar Kulturális Központ igazgatója voltam. Emellett fordítói kurzusom is van, mert az utóbbi 20 évben kortárs japán irodalmat fordítottam magyar nyelvre.
Thank you. I can't tell if her Hungarian is good or bad, but the teacher says it's pretty good. So
It was perfect.
That was perfect, I think. Yeah.
so we're doing a good job.
Just after 1 year of learning Hungarian, that's great. I think it's time for an applause, please. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Second language in humanities is mandatory, but students can choose between French, Spanish, Korean, Chinese, Czech, Polish, or Hungarian. And I try to push for the Hungarian indirectly. As dean, you cannot tell, you take Hungarian, please. You cannot say that, but you can explain why you strongly recommend Hungarian. So we try to do that. We have three professors now, full-time, and our students have the opportunity to learn from the Hungarian students who are there now too. So they practice and they come here if they want to for a year or a month. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a great university innovation. We can make this sense that you teach very rare languages and in this global world. About the Ludovica University of Public Service. So we cannot say that we are a classical incubator university in the commercial sense, but training the future public servants, the future law enforcement officers, the future leaders of the military, we have to be innovative in a lot of sense, because it's very crucial for us to make the new leaders of the country who can or who we will be able to think critically, who will be able to adapt to the new challenges of this changing world. What flagships can you mention, Vice Rector, which we can be proud of as innovations?
Thank you very much for having me here, and thank you very much for the question. I think it's a very interesting. However, firstly, I start a little bit far from here, because at the first time we have to clarify what we call innovation, because sometimes we use innovation as a technological new thing that we are producing just after R&D, research and development. However, it's not true, not always true. Because this university's new faculty, I think, the best examples for the innovation. Because we established just a couple of months ago a new faculty. This is the teachers training faculty, which means a lot of innovation actions. However, in the military and in the police or the law enforcement, we need also the technology and the technological innovation as well. During the last 5 years, I was the head of the Hungarian military's cyber forces. And I have to realize how fast, mainly in the cyber, the innovation, because every day we have a lot of new challenges. We have to be very creative to fight against the new challenges and so on. And we continue here at the university's innovation way of thinking, because the innovation means, as I referred earlier, not only new technologies, but we have to be very creative or innovative in our brain or in your mind. And I think this is the most important. And to be honest, today I'm not only the vice rector of the university, but I'm the head of the Cybersecurity Research Institute. And we involved a lot of students, not only PhD students, but from the bachelor to the master students. And they are very smart. They are very open to get a new innovation way of thinking. I think it could be the flagship of the university. This is your mind, the student's mind. Be creative. As Steve Jobs said, that think different. And my experience, according to my experience, it could be very easy to reach from the young generation. However, we have a lot of projects that's funded by the European Union on the cyber and the other parts of the university. We have, for example, European Union funded Cyber Hub Codes projects, which means that we have to develop the cyber skills all around the European Union, because the cyber skills, the cyber competencies are very bad condition in the European Union countries. That's our main part within this project, to develop the new cyber skills, not only for the new generation, but the older IT or the cyber experts. We have other parts or other projects, just one of them is the Restore for Life, because Westland ecosystem restoration program, which belongs to the water science faculty. It's very interesting. How can we change the entire environment which collapsed or destroyed during the last decades? And we have other projects, not only one flagship, but we have a lot of things to do. For example, we have a cooperative national laboratory, which means that within this project, which is a Hungarian government-funded project, we have a lot of technological and other innovation, meaning things that we have to do. For example, the drones or the 3D printing or the XR, the virtual reality and the other things which are used by the law enforcement units and the military as well. And we can use it in the education or the ordinary training every day. So we have not only one flagship, but we have a lot of projects that we have to do. Fortunately, and it's not a government-signed commercial presentation, we have a lot of government-funded projects, and we have a very good structure for the innovation, because we have a national agency for innovation. They spend a lot of money and they support not only us as a university, but the SMEs, the small and medium enterprises, and the other enterprises or companies. The key point here, how can we get a connection, how can we get together the innovation things for the future within the entire country and the international side?
So I wanted to ask this, that innovation ecosystems aren't really shaped by institutional ambition, but the national context is also needed. And as Major General says, that in Hungary, this context is existing. So the Hungarian government tries to enhance the innovations. What about Japan? Do you have any incentives, or maybe on the contrary, any hurdles?
Of course, we have hurdles as well. But for example, in the global education field and in the environmental education as well, for example, in terms of Hungary, what the Japanese government does is they award our students funds to come to Hungary to teach Japanese as part of our program. So we send about to Hungary, maybe 2 full-time students, and the government of Japan will pay for their expenses. And then they help, right? Last year, they went to ELTE. They usually go to ELTE or Budapest Business School, and they assist the Japanese language teachers. But that's funded by the government, and the intention is to promote global understanding by actually going there, by actually meeting Hungarian people, by actually teaching the young people there. And they support that in Hungary, Norway, Taiwan, mainland China, and Hawaii. So our students can go there if they're part of our Japanese training, teaching Japanese, like what you're starting here. If they're part of that program, the government will sponsor. So eventually, if you have Japanese here, maybe our students can come for a period of time to help with the Japanese teaching. So that's one thing that the Japanese government spends money on, to promote global education through the Japanese language courses. And also in other fields, like the medical field and things like that, they're trying hard to give opportunities to young people to actually go to that country. They're not like simple scholarships, because you have to report later what you taught and, how this will contribute to your future career. But I think it's been very successful. I hope the government will not change their mind for the next 10 years. You have to keep your fingers crossed, but it involves a lot of money. But yeah. So we do have the support for that kind of program.
I think these activities just funded or supported by the government, the Japanese or the Hungarian government, are extremely important for us. Not because of the Japanese or the other languages, but the sharing the cultural things, the entire network that we have to build up during this kind of activity, because the other culture can means other way of thinking and other point of view that we should take into consideration, that could help during the innovation. It doesn't matter which kind of innovation that we are talking about. However, this kind of cooperation among the university, international university, based on trust. Based on trust and money, of course. We talked about the money that came from the the government and the private entrepreneurs or the SMEs, as I mentioned. But the trust, it's very serious that we have to build up. And after that, it could be the base of the basis of the mutual cooperation.
Yeah, for sure. We only started our relationship with Hungary because there is a professor, I think she doesn't mind if I say her name, Hidashi Judith, who is a Hungarian woman who dedicated all her life to studying economics, and she's completely fluent in Japanese. So people who are studying Asian economics or Japanese culture, I think they all know her in Hungary. And because we had her trust, and we thought, okay, because it's an investment, right? So we thought, we can definitely trust her. And then she introduced us to other universities too. And then finally, the government of Hungary, I think, decided to believe that this can make a difference to the citizens of Hungary too. So your government decided to award us to grant a professorship to Hungarian professors to live in Japan. So you saw one professor, Kis Csapo Gergely. He's paid by your government. We don't pay his salary, and he gets paid, and he's supposed to promote Hungarian culture at our university. So that's a trust that we received from your government, probably because they saw what we were trying to do, and I think they approved it. So he's the second professor we receive, and it's like one professor leaves, another professor comes. So, but Kis Csapo Sensei will be with us for another year, so hopefully when he quits, when he comes back, then another person will go. So this kind of, I don't know if you knew that your Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Foreign Trade and
Foreign Trades and
Affairs, that they do that. So I receive emails and they ask me, how do you evaluate his performance? Would you like to keep him? I said, no. Yes, of course I would like to keep him. So the government asks us to evaluate them and report on possible problems. And we're very grateful.
Okay. We can say that there is a constant shift in technology, education, global priorities. How do you anticipate the next 5-10 years regarding the requirements towards the universities from the point of view of innovation, university innovations? So what trends do you anticipate?
I think it would be faster and faster. Let's say it's not only from the technological, but the needs of the entire society, because we need always new and new things. Not only the new phones or new cars, but the new style of life. Let's say it, and the biggest companies support this idea that we always need this kind of things. It means that we have to make a little bit faster in the meaning of the education. So we have to focus on the right things and not the obsolete or the other things. It means a very fast innovation cycle. However, it requires a lot of money, because we have to train the trainers or the professors. That's why I mentioned that this kind of international cooperation, it's a vital or essential for us, because we have to see the international leading countries, or in the meaning of innovation, of course. We have to get the best practices to establish at home. And as I mentioned, it's not only based on the money, but it's based on the cooperation and the mutual trust and the other things, because we have to use the other partners, not only one country, but a branch of countries' best knowledges to do or to solve the society's problems. Because here we are focused on a lot of professionals, not only military law enforcement, but the teachers, the water engineering guys, and other professionals. So we have to be get as many connection or cooperation as we can because of our branch of knowledge or professional that we have to follow in the future. So one sentence to answer your question, Annamária, it would be faster and faster in the near future, I'm afraid.
Can I say something? I think at JOSAI International, we had to change the curriculum because nowadays we have, in Japan, probably in Hungary as well, we have to teach the students how to make the right choice based on the information that's available to them on the internet or through AI. So quite often you get all these answers or all these proposals, but you wouldn't know how to say if it's true or not. So nowadays we changed our teaching style to more active learning in how to really make an assessment of information. 20 years ago, we didn't do that because, you know, there was not that much information available. But nowadays, if you come out of high school and there are 5 different texts, and you know, you don't know which one, AI is saying they're all correct, but they're not. So I think the next 10 years, whoever is being trained to be a teacher will have that big challenge of competing with AI information that's not precise, and these horrible, not horrible, these judgmental comments about certain cultures and certain behaviors that students will have to have an opinion. But how do you have an opinion? You know, so then we say that the personal relationship is the one that you can trust, but trusting your AI and your computer can be very risky. That's why we still keep promoting the education of international communication and global education, and let's go there, let's make friends. But I think the next 10 years, I think I see my Japanese friends there. Bye, hello, bye. Yeah, so I think for us in Japan, the next 10 years we will have to come up with better teaching methodology courses. Whatever we used 20 years ago will not work. So we're trying.
If I may, just one thing. The AI, it's a special challenge. To be honest, a threat that we are facing now. We are working on the regulation. How can we regulate in the university's life? How can we deal with the academic side and the student side? I mean the use of AI. It could be a big challenge for the future, for the near-time future, because there are a lot of things that we use that's based on AI. And you mentioned, Professor, that you have to change the curriculum. There are a lot of complaining from the ministries, mainly from the Ministry of Defense, that we have to adapt faster and faster to the real life. However, the universities' decision-making process, it's very, very slow. It takes months and years. So we have to make it faster and faster. And maybe the AI could be the solution. I mentioned that it's a threat or challenge. However, if we turn a little bit back and we use in the right way the AI, it could be a good tool which can help us to make faster the innovation in the meaning of the changing of curriculum?
Okay, thank you. We can say that the Josai International University is quite exceptional from the point of view that you have Hungarian courses, you have several cooperations with other Hungarian universities, but we in Hungary, and especially the Ludwika University of Public Service, are eager to find new partners in Japan. How do you see, in what ways can we strengthen our cooperation or relationship with Japanese universities?
I think that if you don't have a Japanese language course here,
we have.
You do. If you know, you don't have to limit the possibility of studying in Japan to only those studying Japanese, but I think it's always good to start with a 1 month program or 2 week program going to Japan. To us, for example, the University of California and Spelman College in the United States, they send us 20 students in the summer, 20 students each every year. That's how we started years ago. And, you know, the students were not used to Japan, to the manners and to the language. But if you go once, you feel comfortable and you want to go again for 1 year. And that's what we do with the Japanese students as well, who feel very uncomfortable going abroad, because in Japan, everything is clean, convenient, organized. So they say, why do I need to go to America if Japan is better? I say, don't say that. You think Japan is better, but because of the comfort of Japan and the comfort of being home, you know, why would you pay, you know, thousands of euros to go abroad? So what we do is, with first-year students, we offer the 2 week or 1 month choice first. And then usually a professor will accompany them. And then they usually say, okay, now I'll go for a year on my own. So we have steps. But with most Hungarian universities, there was never a step. They just come for 1 year from the beginning. But here, because you have different courses, programs, you can have a mixture of students if you want. And our university will always accept you for 2 weeks or 1 year. And I think another unique aspect of our program is that if you speak no Japanese, you can still come because we have the 0 Japanese class as well. So people move up. So 80% of the Hungarian students who come are majoring in Japanese. So they know they have the knowledge of the history of Japan, or they have read books, but they can't communicate naturally. You know, they will use sentences from the books. You know, so after a month or two, they start to be more natural. So there are many ways we can start, but I think the professors have to come first. Don't you think?
I think it's a great idea. Yes, but to be honest, I think it's a very useful idea to start a very short period of time, because if they have some knowledge about Japan, I mean the Hungarian students, after that we can send them. Of course, we need to support them with money, but after that we can send them for half a year or just 2 semesters.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And do you think Japan is a very expensive country? What's your image? Is Japan like extremely expensive to live in? Yes or no? Oh, only 3 people think it's expensive. Okay. The other people are right. Now, the Japanese yen is so weak. It's so weak that Japan is full of tourists. We live there, we cannot walk because it's full of tourists, because it's really cheap to eat and stay at hotels there. I'm staying at the Corona in Budapest. That's very expensive compared to Japanese hotels. You know, and eating lunch in Japan, for example, do you know what a rice ball is? Yeah, one rice ball costs less than $1. And I eat chu for lunch, so my lunch costs about $2. So for our American students, they say, wow, that's the cost of a bottle of water. But I say, I know. But for the Japanese students, it's normal. And, you know, that's what we pay. That's how we eat. So I think this is a good time to go to Japan.
It's
maybe
a big
this year
for me.
Yeah, it's our dormitory is new, brand new, very beautiful. I don't know how much it would cost here, but there it costs about maybe $150 a month. So Norwegian students think it's free. They say, wow, it's so cheap, right? But you know, it's cheap for certain countries. It's not cheap for all countries. But for you to have an idea of how not expensive Japan is now, you know, this image that, oh, it's the most expensive country in the world. It's not. It was maybe many years ago, but it's not anymore. So please, do consider coming to Japan. I will not be your Japanese teacher, don't worry, because I'm Brazilian. I'm not Japanese. I studied Japanese on my own, so we have professional professors who will teach you language and culture. So,
sounds great. Before asking my last question, I would like to open the Q&A section. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to ask a question to our distinguished experts? Nobody?
Hungarian students are shy. I didn't know.
They are very shy, I think. Maybe at the end line or the end row, they always complaining for everything, but they have no brief to get an answer. They are just sleeping and sleeping. No, it's just a joke. But I think when I started my monologue, or let's say you are the innovation of the university. Trust me, you are the innovation, because we are talking about the innovation. I'm 55. I'm too old to get new ideas.
Let's say you're
it's just 2 years, 2 years. But to be honest, I have two daughters, 15 and 25, and I see that the 25-year-old girl is not so innovative as the younger generation. To be honest, that's a shame. That's why we need your questions, your ideas, not only here, but all around the world, because you can influence your future and your next generation of students.
Well, so let's end the conversation in this way. I would like to ask you a question with a personal touch. So if you could give a piece of advice to the future innovators sitting in this room, what would it be?
You go first. Younger people.
I've mentioned, I already mentioned Steve Jobs, who is my favorite, or who was my favorite thinker. Think different. It's very easy, but if you think a little bit over that think different, I think this is the brightest ideas or suggestion that I could leave you here. Think different.
I completely agree. I don't do tea ceremony in Japan because I cannot sit on the tatami that way, you know. But I appreciate the art, the thinking, the philosophy behind it. And when I started understanding Japanese, I saw a calligraphy thing on the wall. And then I said, what is that? Then the professor said, it is Ichigo Ichie. Then I did some research about what that meant. And even nowadays, because I'm in the field of communication and international education, I still think about that all the time. It means, this is a philosophical thought from many, 1,800 1,800 something. So the thought was like, seize each moment you have with someone. So the tea ceremony, it's a room, a person is preparing the tea, you're enjoying it with somebody else. That moment will never exist again. The same people can gather in the same room, but what will happen will be different. So seizing that moment, meaning preparing well, participating well, taking advantage of that moment, concentrate there. So when I say this to my students, they say, oh, do you mean don't use my cellular phone? I said, that too, right? That too. Because the people will prepare for that one given event or whatever it is to be with you, so let's seize the moment in that way. That's a Japanese philosophical thing regarding tea ceremony, but in other things. But Hollywood apparently used this sentence in some movies too. I didn't know that. But, nowadays we're rushed to check our email, do this, do that. And we think that that's part of our education, but not really. So seize each moment. Whoever you are with, the person might not be with you again, right? So in that sense, I appreciate this opportunity. It will never happen again in my life, and I will not be seated in front of him again, but I will always remember you, and I will always remember this moment, and I appreciate the organizer, I appreciate Ludovica for having invited me all the way from Japan, and I have two other people from different university in Japan as well. I'm sure we are all very grateful. And we hope that we will be your true partners from now on. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Ichiyama, Major General Kovács, thank you for your delightful ideas. And I'm grateful for the audience for your attention. Thank you and goodbye.